everyone, welcome back to another segment of our series here, 3 Questions with Greg. And today we have a very special guest. We have the founder and CEO of the A Group, Mr. Manny Alfonso. It's great to have you on.
No, man.
Today.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. And
No, please. This is great. I love what you're doing.
Awesome.
I think it's awesome. I think it's great.
I appreciate it. But can you give us some kind of a background of what do you do at the A Group? What do you guys focus on?
Okay, well, the A Group is a full service agency. We do all marketing and public relations. We do from A to Z in the marketing world. We have every type of campaigns. We have radio, digital, television, print. You name it, we do it here. We service a lot of well-known clients. We have a lot of good Fortune 500 companies that we're fortunate to work with for so many years. They've entrusted us in doing a lot of their Hispanic work. That was something that we tried to really differentiate a little bit more. So many general market agencies that really never understood the Hispanic market. Okay. And then basically when we started, we were those folks that said, let us guide you of what the Hispanic market is all about. A lot of people don't really understand to this day what the Hispanic market is all about, especially the general market agencies. Everybody thinks that, you speak to a Hispanic one way. Okay. And that doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
you got to speak to each Hispanic in their lingo, in their language.
That's definitely, especially in Miami.
Especially in Miami.
You have different countries of ethnicities and all of that.
Listen, I always say this, and people take this very, 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 when I tell them the story, I don't call this Miami, Florida. I call us Miami, USA. I call us Miami as its own country.
That's true.
Because we have every type of ethnic group here, and everybody that wants to come here is they're people that want to thrive. And they bring a little bit of awe from their coming. Argentina, Brazil, Nicaragua, Venezuelans, Cubans, everybody, Puerto Ricans, everything. When you have general market agencies wanting to do campaigns, they feel like, oh, we got this. Let's just, we hire somebody Hispanic and they can do everything. It doesn't work that way. So when we saw that opportunity, we took it, we went in there, and that really brought us into this niche. And then from there, a lot of other stuff has opened up. But, to your question, that's how we started, and that's where we specialize about with the A Group.
I mean, taking us back to where you started.
Yes.
I mean, you started, as the chief of staff of former Mayor Maurice Ferre.
Absolutely.
And, how did that impact your career and, where you're at now?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I am where I am today because I started with Maurice. And I started with Maurice not as chief of staff. I started with Maurice as a commission aide. I like to say that Maurice not only was my mentor, but was like another father figure to me. I mean, I hold 2 people very near and dear to my heart, and that is my father, which is still alive, and Maurice, that passed away. So, this company was built on the values and the ideas that was instilled in me by Maurice. So I started with him when I was very young. I was 20-some years old. What I learned with Maurice, I could have never, ever learned in a school, in a university, in anywhere else. And that really prepared me with my agency, because with Maurice, I dealt with so many people of different ethnic groups throughout the whole, world. Because when I was with Maurice, apart from when I started with him, and then a year, 2 years later, I became chief of staff. We were, sister cities with a lot of different countries and a lot of different places in different countries. So that enabled us to travel and try and bring a lot of those businesses to South Florida. And I met so many people from Costa Rica, from Honduras, from Nicaragua, from Puerto Rico, from Brazil, from Argentina. We traveled everywhere. So basically that's what really set me off for saying, okay, what am I going to do after this? And I always had that in the back of my mind. And working in the commission and working for Maurice, working for anything is like a permanent PR position.
Yeah.
Because being a chief of staff, you are resolving problems. And that's what public relations is all about. And you have to be doing public relations and all the time when you're doing this stuff.
Yeah, correct. So you've been doing public relations for a long time.
I started this already. Apart from that, we've been started since my 20-some years old. That apart from that, I've been working with the League Against Cancer, which is a nonprofit organization that I work with. I'm on the board of directors. I head all the fundraising initiatives for the League. The League has been around for 40-some years, and that also has prepared me for what we're doing here today. So basically all that, mixed up in a making a good stew.
Yeah.
This is what you come up with.
That's good. And I mean, something that, one of your sayings is STO, squeeze
Absolutely.
the lemon.
Squeeze the lemon.
And so, could you kind of elaborate what is squeeze the lemon, or kind of emphasize or go more into detail?
So
what does that mean?
STL started as I don't want to say as a joke, but it started as a lingo. Everybody that knows me knows me for my saying. So then basically STL came about because I've always saying that you need to squeeze the lemon, and for me, squeeze the lemon means you're trying to take as much as possible from every opportunity that life brings to you. So, what do you do with a lemon? You grab your lemon, you cut your lemon, and people go ahead and squeeze the lemon. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just squeeze it and you take out a little bit of juice. So all of a sudden, people don't understand. You can go get the lemon squeezer out of the drawer, put it in there, you squeeze it again, and even more juice comes out. Yeah. So then, and people just grab the lemon and throw it away. So for me, life is like that. There's opportunities. One opportunity leads to another opportunity. Maybe a person you meet here that may not, bring you business, but then the person that he brought is the person that you can take advantage and say, wow, by the way, we have these services. I work with this. I do marketing. I do PR. So you're taking advantage of those situations. And that, I always say, is important, because as we started talking off camera beforehand, as I told you, life is all about who you meet and opportunities. Mm-hmm. And then basically, while I was chief of staff for Maurice, I was handed a lot of different opportunities in the sense of meeting people, seeing people. And Maurice would always really push me to that. Maurice would say, hey, we're going to go see Ambassador so-and-so. We're going to go, we're going to the White House, and we're going to this inauguration for the president, or we're meeting X person from, FDOT or Department of Transportation. We're going to the governors. There's different moments, there's different, stuff that are happening. You're meeting people, you're getting to know these people. And so basically, those are opportunities. And that for me is squeeze the lemon. So you just can't grab the lemon and just squeeze it with your hand and throw it away. You have to grab that lemon and squeeze it and put it down that squeezer and take out as much as you can from opportunity from life and put it towards what you want to do in life. As I told you also in the beginning, people make fun of me sometimes when I say, you only don't need your only degrees from good schools. Mm-hmm. I went to school, I got my degree, I did my whole thing, but I always say I had to go and get my master's. Oh, really? Where'd you get your master's? And I say, FSU. Oh, great school. I go, no, but it's the wrong one. I got it from Flagler Street University, because that's the street that you really learn the lingo, the street talk, what people are looking for. You have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in these areas. So all that entails, squeezing the lemon, the STO opportunities.
Taking advantage of every single opportunity.
Taking advantage of opportunities that you've got. Networking. You got to go. You got to get out there. You have to do it.
Yeah, that's super crucial.
It's very crucial.
Yeah. And what do you see yourself, in the business in the next 10 years coming down the road? It could in the city as a PR company. Where do you see yourself in that?
Where do I see myself? Where do I see the company? I am in the next evolution, which is all digital. And that's where we're at. I mean, as you can see here, you're facing a day in Miami. I mean, this is our social pages. So this is the new world. Everything's digital, which we now are really, I can say, out of traditional marketing and traditional, let's say, radio and television. We're not there anymore. We're there, but we're now more up to 50, 60, 70% all digital, because with the world that we live now is everybody's on their phone. So you could be at home watching television, you could be in the car listening to the radio, but everybody is going to take advantage of that moment that they're on their phone, either answering emails, answering a text, looking at social media, looking at the news, looking at what's going on in the world. Nobody picks up a newspaper anymore. That's true. Look at the print world of newspaper is unfortunately, I'm a newspaper guy. I love the newspaper. I like the feel and the sitting down and reading your paper. But now it's just a convenience. At any moment, any time, you got a moment, boom, you're getting this alert. You're looking at some type of news. This came out. News now is on an instant. Usually you have to wait till the next morning and get the paper and read what's going on. Now it's not. So basically, that's where I see us in the next 10 years. Everything will be social media, digital. So that's the next 10 years.
Yeah, so that's where you have to kind of head into the future, foreseeing the future.
In anything we do.
Yes.
In anything we do, we have to empower the digital part in any type of business.
That's good.
Yeah.
Last question for our viewers. What is the key business advice you would give anybody, starting off in their career, starting off in their new business? What would be your best take, your best advice?
Listen, I always say that. People ask me always, what's the best advice? I always try to really figure out what is the best advice. And I always say, what's the best advice they gave me? I took so many different aspects, put forth dedication. If whatever you like and that's your passion, that's what you have to stick to. You follow me? Yeah. So if that's what you really, really, really like, that's what you really have to do. And I always say, don't get worried if you get knocked down. As everybody tells you, you got to get up and do it again. Listen, before I started this company, there was many times I say, what am I doing? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing this? But I kept on and I kept on and I kept on because it's what I knew. It's what I knew to do. So I said, what am I going to do? Start something else? And the best advice that everybody gave me was whatever you like, and that's what you like to do, try and do the best that you can on that. If you like to be a contractor and go do a contract. You like engineering, doing engineering. You like architect, do architectural. So basically, this is what I love to do. This is what I am a resolver. I like to resolve problems. I like to, get something and try it and resolve it, make it happen. I love to think outside the box. I like for people to come and tell me, Manny, what's your idea for this? That's what I like to do. So that's what I put my full efforts into. And to this day, even though being open for so many years, you still got to keep on taking your own advice and keep on doing what you're doing in order to get to the next step. And you got to be up to par with the times. Yeah. And that's why I said in the beginning, digital's the way. And listen, I didn't understand digital 5 years before. Now, talk to me about digital and the digital crew that I have here. And now I said, wow, I can't believe we weren't doing this sooner. Yeah. So again, best advice is stick to what you like. Do it. Don't let anything bring you down and just continue straight forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they love what they do, but problems come at it, rejection. Yeah. And then they kind of feel like
you get knocked down. Yeah, and listen, rejection we're always going to get. It's part of being strong and making you stronger. Yeah. So if you don't get rejected, you're doing something wrong because nobody's going to be perfect. So you have to get rejected in order to make it happen, in order to be better. Because whatever you got rejected wise is now what you're going to learn. And then now the next person you can go ahead and instill a little bit of that rejection into that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that was really good. That wraps up our episode here today. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys could go ahead and follow Mr. Alfonso on Instagram. And, make sure you guys go follow A Day in Miami.
Absolutely.
And everything. Hope you guys have a great day. And as always, God bless you guys.